Viewers, we are being told by the Board of Control for Cricket in India that the Indian team's decision to refuse to shake hands with Pakistan players is a massive moral rebuke, a gesture that conveys the disapproval of a nation. This is what Surya Kumar Yadav, Indian captain, has said. He said, "We stand with the families of the victims of the Pahalgam attack. We express our solidarity and we want to dedicate today's win to the armed forces. The BCCI and the government had aligned to play the game, so only the game was on our mind. The decision not to shake hands was taken later," unquote. Listen in, viewers.
Few things in life are ahead of sportsman spirit also. And I've already answered it. I've told it at the presentation as well that we actually stand with all the victims of Pahalgam terror attack, and we stand with their families also, express our solidarity. Also, as I said at PC, that we dedicate this win to our brave armed forces who took part in Operation Sindoor, and as they continue to inspire us all, we'll try our best whenever given an opportunity to inspire them as well, if possible. Our government and BCCI, we were aligned together in rest. We came here, we took a call, and I feel we came here just to play the game. I think we gave the proper reply.
Well, the BCCI is hoping to redeem its reputation through this snub. Let's be clear, Team India's handshake snub, however, cannot whitewash the BCCI's original spin. And that, very simply, is having normalized Pakistan-sponsored terror by playing with Pakistan. Viewers, this is my opinion. They tell us we had no choice, ICC rules would disqualify us. That's humbug. In 1970, India led the fight to throw apartheid South Africa out of world cricket. Back then, the ICC listened. Today, the BCCI is 100 times more powerful. It funds the ICC. Without India, world cricket wouldn't survive a day. Ex-BCCI chief Jay Shah is ICC chairperson, and yet no push to turf Pakistan out. Why? Money. India-Pakistan matches are cricket's biggest cash cow. Viewership equals revenue, and the BCCI would rather count the cash than stand on principle. Worse, after pocketing crores, it posts a message as a tribute to the armed forces. It says, "We stand by the victims of the families of Pahalgam terror attack. We express our solidarity. We want to dedicate today's win to all our armed forces who showed a lot of bravery. Hope they continue to inspire us all. And we give them more reasons on the ground whenever we get an opportunity to make them smile." India captain Surya Kumar Yadav. This statement was put out by the BCCI. This, viewers, on the part of the BCCI is virtue signaling. If the BCCI is serious, it must walk the talk. How about donating every single paisa earned from the Asia Cup to the military? The BCCI could also host Team India military appreciation nights, for instance, offering free or discounted tickets, in-game tributes, and veteran recognition. It could even organize, like the Baseball League does in the United States, a Welcome Back Veterans program to fund mental health support, post-retirement job training, and transition assistance. As things stand, Pakistan's cricket board has already made over 30 crores from the Asia Cup. That money will bankroll terror against our soldiers. No handshake snub, no tribute post, nothing will absolve the BCCI of the blood it will have on its hands if there's another terror attack, viewers. And that's fundamental to the conversation we're going to have tonight. And I want to open this up, and I want to begin with Dr. Ranganathan. We also have Piyush Chawla, former Indian cricketer, here with us, General Pandey, and of course, Sushant Sri. None of these individuals need an introduction. So, Doctor, I want to begin with you first. What do you make of the BCCI and its backers in the government who are making such a big deal since yesterday of this business of shutting the door on the Pakistanis, of the dressing room, of not shaking hands with them either at the toss or after the game? Do you think this by itself redeems the BCCI?
Good evening, Rahul, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Look, let me be very clear. Forget handshakes. The least the BCCI could do was donate the money it earned from the India-Pakistan match to the widows and the families of our martyred Jawans and the families of the Pahalgam victims. But it decided instead to wax eloquent on hypocritical and hollow words of sympathy that carry absolutely no weight. But then, if we are talking of hypocrisy and hollow words, I'm afraid it's not just the BCCI that is the culprit, it is the government as well as all those, in my opinion, who are demanding the boycott. Look, there are three important issues here. Number one, I disagree with those who say politics should not enter sports. Tell me, did we trade with apartheid South Africa for 40 years? At that time, one of the richest economies? No. Even though the guardians of human rights, America and Britain did. Did we play cricket with South Africa for 40 years, even though England did? So why didn't we? Because we took a principled, moral, ethical stand. We took a political decision. We didn't consider all the whites of South Africa as evil. In fact, we eulogized Dr. Christian Barnard and Nadine Gordimer. We were against their government and establishment. The same is the case with Pakistan. Number two, Pakistan, the state, is not going to change. Its entire edifice is founded on hatred for Hinduism and Hindustan. 4 wars, Mumbai blast, 26/11, Pulwama, Pahalgam. We cannot have anything bilateral to do with this terror state unless it changes its spots. So, why are we still trading with Pakistan? Importing goods from Pakistan, exporting goods to Pakistan, more than 1 billion right now directly and 10 billion indirectly routed through other countries. Three, now about the hypocrisy, double standards and virtue signaling of those demanding a boycott of the match. A, it is amusing. People are going after BCCI but not after Modi. I think the BCCI would have agreed to the match had Modi said no. So why are they scared to call out Modi? B, they say we should boycott Asia Cup but play Pakistan in World Cup because we are powerful and we can. Then why were they calling out Trump for slapping only India with tariffs but not EU or China, even though they are buying more Russian oil than us because he's powerful and he could? Sorry, if you're hypocritical, you lose the right to call out the hypocrisy of others. C, fact is, in my opinion, Modi isn't wrong here. When it comes to international forums, be it sports or political, we cannot avoid interaction with rogue states like Pakistan. Don't we continue to interact with China and North Korea and many Middle Eastern nations that sponsor terror, including Palestine? So if you want us to boycott an international tournament where Pakistan is participating, then why do you want us to participate in Olympics or Asian Games wherein Pakistan also participates? Why did we participate in Cricket World Cup? Is that not hypocritical of our moral and ethical stand of not interacting with Pakistan? Or let us take a principled stand and not participate in any international forum that also involves Pakistan. Will you be for it? Same folks asking for boycott today would outrage on us giving up on gold medals of World Cup. Just 10 seconds. Look, I can totally understand, Rahul, that Indians are emotional about this issue. Sure. But can we please be just emotional, not hypocritical?
No, absolutely, Dr. Ranganathan. But there is also a way of ensuring that countries like Pakistan get, in fact, comeuppance. Russia was turfed out of the Olympics this time. Russian athletes had to participate under another flag, in fact. And that's because powerful countries aligned their interests together, perhaps at the urging of the United States or whoever it was, and managed to build pressure to exclude Russia. Now, India's done it before. In 1970, with South Africa, we aligned our interests with other ICC members, and from the South, the global South, we pushed, and that happened. So I have no problems with people calling for a boycott as long as the government makes at least an attempt to raise this issue in a manner. And I want to bring in Sushant Sareen, because Sushant Sareen, how will the Pakistan state now view India's decision to engage on a sports field? See, I'm not talking about the United Nations. These are forums which allow you the space to expose Pakistan, but not so much the cricket field. So how does Pakistan view this decision? Do they also see this as, India is, basically says one thing, does quite another? And this also sends out a message that they are hypocrites themselves and we can hoist them on their own petard. How do you see it?
So look, couple of things. One of those few occasions where I disagree with Anand. Number one, I agree with him to the extent that there is egg on the face of both the government and BCCI. I will absolve the cricketers of what has happened because they are like soldiers. They are like General Pandey. If he is ordered to go somewhere, even if he doesn't agree with the decision, he'll follow his orders. That's what the cricketers have done. So I absolve them. Secondly, I don't think I've heard of not a single compelling reason which has been given by either the government or the BCCI for going ahead with this particular match. I'm not saying tournament, I'm saying match, which is where I'll join issue with Anand. Number three, my problem is that a lot of people argue that, what's the big deal? So what if there is terrorism? But we have been interacting with Pakistan on various other stages just because we've been doing something wrong for the last 80 years. And we have normalized this compartmentalization that, okay, if Pakistan sends terrorists into India, if it butchers Indians, if it spreads, Hindu phobic and anti-Hindu propaganda and treats Hindu shabbily, it's all very well as long as we are playing cricket, we are doing mushairas, we get Pakistanis into Bollywood. It's all okay. I'm sorry, it's no longer okay. And I think we need to put a stop to it. Now, let me come to a couple of things which Anand has raised. Number one, he's wrong. We are not doing any bilateral trade with the Pakistanis right now. I think there's the maximum trade which is happening is maybe $500,000 or something. Now, if Anand thinks that is hypocrisy, good luck to him. I don't think that's hypocrisy. It means that you've basically banned all trade, and I don't even know what is coming in that $500,000. Secondly, on the issue of where he says boycott all international tournaments. No, I don't see why we should boycott international tournaments. But we can make an example of Pakistan. For example, even in the Asia Cup, we will host the Asia Cup. Number one, we should not have taken it to UAE. We should have held it out here. If Pakistan did not want to come, to hell with them. We will go ahead with the tournament without them. Yeah. Right? Now, okay, we took the tournament to UAE. If I was calling the shots, which I'm not, I would have said, yes, we will play this tournament. This is our tournament. But if there is a match with Pakistan, I will not play it. I will boycott that match because that sends a very, very strong signal, not just to Pakistan, but also to the rest of the cricketing community and the international world that I'm drawing a red line. To compare this with the Olympics, where if 8 candidates reach the final of the javelin throw, number one, it was a blue moon day when a Pakistani came into any athletic event. Normally they're out in the first round even if they qualify. They have about 10 or 15 people who go to the Olympics anyways. But assuming somebody qualifies for the heats and is thrown out, you are not necessarily clubbing him together with an Indian. So it's not an Indian versus a Pakistan thing. It's not a bilateral in an international tournament. So to compare that with a bilateral match in a series like, what we are playing in Asia Cup right now, I think that's a travesty. It doesn't hold up to reason or any logic. And finally, Anand says, we go to the UN, we go to SCO. Yes, we go to the SCO, we participate out there, but do we play with the Pakistanis out there? Do we sit and talk with them?
No,
do
we expose them.
We don't do it. We ignore them out there. The same thing I'm saying, you hold an international tournament by all means, even if it's in India and you are forced to call Pakistan, hold your nose, call them, but say, I'm not going to play against them. This business that you rigged the entire draw of the Asia Cup and you rig the draws of Champions Trophy and all ICC tournaments to make sure that India and Pakistan have the possibility of playing the maximum matches together. Let's do away with it. Can we or can we not do away with it? Indian cricket will still make tons of money if you don't play Pakistan. Will Pakistan make that same kind of money? And one last point, if you allow me. Anand is a purist in that sense. He tries to look at everything in black and white. That's the problem with these damn scientists when they come and start talking about, things like politics and international relations. And that is why I strongly discourage Anand from doing it, because he looks everything in black and white. There is hypocrisy in politics and real life. Learn to live with it. When the other guy does it to me, I'll call him out. When you call me out, I will oppose you on it. That's the reality. That's hypocrisy.
Okay, but hang on. Just want to make one point. Sushant Sareen is right. Cricket will survive, viewers. Pakistan's cricket board may not, but cricket will survive. The IPL does fantastically well. Biggest money spinning league anywhere in the world, and there's not one Pakistani fingerprint on the IPL. So that's done. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan, you were raising your hands. I want to bring in General Pandey. Very important point of view from him. Yes.
No, absolutely. And Paji Sushantji's views are aankhon par. I know he's like my elder brother. But I like to say in the 3 points that he's raised, and of course he's right. I have self-confessed man of black and white. Maybe that's my problem. But I always, go by first principles on free speech, on hypocrisy, whatever it may be. Now Sushantji says, well, our trade with Pakistan has dwindled to minimal. There is no such thing as little bit pregnant. Either you are doing it zero or you're doing little bit. In fact, even after now, it might have dwindled down to minimal imports. But for the last 5 years, after the dastardly attack of Pulwama, we were still trading substantially with Pakistan, even though we had removed the most favored nation tag. Number two, now picture a scenario in Olympic semi-final hockey between India and Pakistan. Would the same people saying boycott playing with Pakistan say, well, let's forego playing with Pakistan and let's lose the chance of getting an Olympic medal? Supposing let's the World Cup semi-final of cricket, would we say, let's not play Pakistan and let's forego the chance of becoming the world champions? If that is the case, I'm fine. Then boycott every bilateral meeting in a multilateral event with Pakistan. Then do it. Don't have double standards. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, just 1 second.
Can
Yeah.
I just make a very, very quick rebuttal?
Yeah, yeah.
I have absolutely no problems. Even if I was in the final of a World Cup and I had to play Pakistan, I would say no, because it is not only General Pandey and his people who are expected to lay down their lives for this country. If a damn cricketer does not play a particular tournament and has to wait another 4 years to win a tournament, heavens are not going to fall. Not that they win every tournament they play. So let's forget about it. Okay, I'm sorry, I would go along to that. Wait for another 4 years. Heavens will not fall.
And you might actually end up creating such a big stink that world attention will be forced willy-nilly on this. But I just wanted to say, Dr. Ranganathan, you're not a self-confessed lover of black and white, but black or white, because that has a completely different connotation. Anyhow, let me bring in General Pandey. General Pandey, I have to ask you this, because the BCCI has been at pains today to put out how it stands with the Indian Armed Forces, the solidarity that it expresses with them, and how this win has been dedicated to them. So from that point of view, I think many people are saying that it's checked that big box where people were saying that by playing this match, etc., they betrayed the martyrs and, the other sentiments that were expressed. How do you respond to the BCCI's actions?
Yeah, I would love to say very positive stuff about it, but unfortunately the tweet when you read and the language itself was very clear, it is perfunctory message. Somebody has not even read it properly and just put it out that their heart and soul or whatever is we stand by the victims of the family of the Pahalgam. You imagine that you couldn't even type a single language when you got tons and tons of money behind and people who are going to be typing on your behalf. So that is reflection that they don't care actually, right? Firstly. Time and again, everybody is saying, Dr. Anand also said, Sushant has said, and I've been hearing from the world, that whatever BCCI has earned should go to the people of armed forces and all. And I can assure you, we don't need that money of BCCI, right? What we need is the affection of the people of the country. BCCI is nobody who can actually acknowledge us and put us onto pedestal. They are a financial magnet. They are running a business, and frankly, we love to have zero money from anybody. But the respect which the country comes, I think that is much more important to us. Now, coming on to the subject proper, right? Let's this thing. Why are we after BCCI? Right? Is it because it's a money business? Is it because Amit Shah's son is possibly there as a J Shah? Is it because the cricketers are earning loads of money? Is that why we are hating them? Is that why this is the discourse happening? Why we are not talking about, as Dr. Anand Ranganathan said, that with each and every country we are not having a great term, we should boycott at every level. So we should not have played the Chinese yesterday in the finals where we lost in the women final to the Chinese and we came with a silver medal because we have got issues in Galwan. I just want to put a couple of things in perspective, right? Time and again, Dr. Anand said that Modi is to blame, government is to blame, everybody is to blame. If cricket is passion, is about emotion of the country, so is Operation Sindoor, right? So is the lives at Pahalgam. Why cannot the people's movement take a call that we will not watch this match and we'll make it fail or succeed in whichever manner, right? But the fact is, please understand that we are in a democratic environment. When not 100% people are on board, why are we expecting the government of India to come into a decision of this matter, right? It is very clear in our country that while the Prime Minister has said that terror and talk will not go together, but yes, cricket, if we can churn out money, will go through because there is a gray between zero and what Sushant is talking about. It will get exploited. And oh, by the way, when you are playing a boxing match in this thing or a weightlifting competition or a javelin throw in an international match, then a Pakistani playing is like a brother and sportsman spirit. But when it comes to money churner, like a BCCI, we need to point a finger in that. And the reason we need to point a finger, right? I'm not talking of J. Shah, political aspects, socialism, communism, and those facets. I'm looking only at the sensitive part. When you earn 30 crore or 30 million, whatever that money which has come out, that money is not going to hit out into Indian military now. The lines are not war fighting between Pakistan military and Indian military. The war fighting thing has now gone to killing civilians. This money is going to use to divide our country, fund in radicalization.
Yes.
Fund in, use it to divide a fault line. This money is going to come to kill not the military soldiers,
exactly,
but also civilians. The way it is happening in Pahalgam, it is going to come into Kashmir, into every corner of the country. Okay, they may get this money from somewhere else, but we, by playing this match, have given this money. So when this profit earning thing is happening, which is not a multilateral international organization event, then somewhere we need to take a call that this is where we will go and play.
So General Saab, there are two aspects to this. The first is why BCCI? Because BCCI is a private company. It's not an Indian government enterprise. It tries to position itself because of the involvement of politicians as some arm of the government. It's not. It's a private company. If other private companies are being disincentivized, especially those in Punjab, etc., doing business with Pakistani counterparts across the border, then why should the BCCI be profiting from cricket trade?
This is the linkage we should go.
So that's
that
it.
When the trade of Jammu Kashmir can be stopped,
do you believe that Ludhiana hosieries makers don't want to sell their hosiery in Pakistan, or bedsheet walas, or dry fruit people, or apple orchard, apple growers? They also want to send their produce across the border to Pakistan, across the Atari Wagah border, and make money. So why should only BCCI get this exemption? That's the fundamental issue. And they do because politicians populate the BCCI, because it is influence. It is influence peddling. Cricket is this big obsession, and you're associated with something that is very visible. So the BCCI really needs to be reined in. It is like, I'm sorry to say, the East India Company today. It is completely rogue. It is completely, because the government is the one that has said that, sorry, we are not going to show Pakistani films. Operation Sindoor is still on. Worse, it has said that no Pakistani star, etc., can come to this country and earn money, blah, blah, blah. These are its words, not mine. No time is still issued. Pakistani airliners can't cross over the border. Good. I'm glad. But then, why should the BCCI get this opportunity to make profits? Are they above actors? Are they above everybody else? Why? This is fundamentally the issue, viewers. We're not playing India level matches here. This is not the government of India entering into a tournament. This is a private concern with privately paid players who go to play a game. That's fundamentally the issue. We're confusing issues here. The Indian government takes a position in a multilateral, bilateral fora because it is the government of India. It represents the people. It's elected to do so. Who's the BCCI? Who are they? They're modern day carpetbaggers. I'm sorry to say this. That's a fact. because of the way they're behaving. Yes, very quickly, Doctor, and I want to bring in Piyush. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. But here is the thing: the government has deliberately muddled the whole issue.
Yeah.
Because the BCCI is controlled by the government. Otherwise, you tell me it is still deemed as a charitable organization. Many of its activities come under the cloud of charity. They don't pay taxes.
A lot of that has now been sorted, and that's not quite the issue. This is something that I had brought up earlier, and I was corrected by a large number of people who showed me some facts. So things have. Anyhow, the point, you're essentially making the fair point, Dr. Ranganathan. The government needs to have stepped in and said, look, we don't appreciate trade between other sectors of the economy and Pakistan. We expect you to behave like any other private enterprise and stop this nonsense. And they should have. But the government did not step in. So you have to ask yourself why. And Piyush Chawla, let me put this question to you. Are profits so important? The BCCI is some super conglomerate. The BCCI is different from maybe, the Tatas or some other hosiery maker in Jalandhar or a producer of apples or a whole bunch of producers of apples or dry fruit or what have you who believe in trade and could have made a lot of money using that Wagah Atari route which is completely shut. Wheat sellers, farmers, so many people are suffering. Why should the BCCI get this exemption? I want to ask you, and do they think that they're above everybody else?
Well, I think if you talk about this particular Asia Cup and you're talking about the profit making, so BCCI came to this tournament because they are promoting the other teams like Oman,
Piyush
UAE.
Chawla, it's a very simple issue. I'm only asking you a simple question. Forget about what the BCCI's altruistic motives are. It's a private company. Do you think private other companies who would like to do trade don't have employees? People to feed?
Well,
they can't do charity for their own Indian people because there is an embargo on trade, sir. This is a direction of the Indian government. Is the BCCI someone exceptional?
Well, BCCI is not exceptional. I
There
agree
you go.
with that point.
Baat khatam.
And yeah, baat khatam, I agree with that point. But eventually, at the end of the day, the BCCI and government has taken
No, one
this
second. I'm asking you. No, hang on. I'm asking you, sir. I'm asking you a question. Would you today want to go across to Pakistan as a tourist and spend money there? I'm asking you as a human to human level, citizen to citizen level. Would you like to go and spend money in their economy? We've done it with Maldives, we've done it with Turkey, we've done it with several countries. We've exercised our veto as private citizens. The BCCI is a private company made of private citizens. Some of them happen to, of course, hold office, which is ridiculous, first of all. What are these politicians doing in the BCCI in any case? But coming back to the point, how is the BCCI thinking that it is above the manufacturer of hosiery or of garments or of any other product, which today those companies are banned from trading with Pakistan? I'm asking you this, sir.
Well, I'm just asking, I'm telling you from a cricketer's point of view.
No, I want you to tell me, sir, from the point of view of an individual who has worked for the BCCI. You are not a government servant when you work for the BCCI. You're a privately paid cricketer. Great, you were a great cricketer. You did fantastically well. You weren't playing essentially for your country. This is a fiction.
Well, that's what, but people, the sentiments of people who watches the sport, we are playing for India eventually.
Okay, so tell me something. Do you think your friends are pleased? I'm asking you, sir. Do you feel that your friends are pleased with the BCCI and the government of India today for having gone back on all the rhetoric?
Well, they got the order because if you talk about the cricketers, so whatever they get to, hear from BCCI and government, they just go and do their job. It's like they're just aligned for that.
I'm sure, sir, you have relatives, friends who are not cricketers. You don't know anybody. Everybody of your family, your friends all sat and had a beer and a drink and watched the match and had a great time and spent money and got the revenues so that they could be shared with the Pakistan. Are you telling me that, sir?
No, I'm not telling you that. I'm just telling you from a player's point of view. Whatever they got the orders, they have done that.
You've asked the question that needs to be asked. If I can just interrupt for about 30 seconds. The question that you asked didn't occur to anyone, not even to me. And let me explain this to the audience. The broadcaster for the India-Pakistan match is minting millions out of it. Broadcasting it is India. The trade that Sushantji was saying is almost non-existent, out here is evidence that it is not only existent, it is making millions for a broadcasting company. That is what it is trading in. Now, as you said, why should some people, some companies not be allowed to trade with Pakistan because it's a terror state, and out here the broadcaster is being allowed to trade?
Why? Fundamental question, viewers, and that's the question that I was getting at. No company in this country is trading with Pakistan at great loss sometimes to their cause and to their employees' cause. But no, viewers, the BCCI is trading with Pakistan. That's why I'm saying it is like the East India Company gone rogue. And who is allowing it to go rogue, viewers? That's the fundamental question. Begin asking that question, including all of you who sat and watched that match last night.
My biggest thing, Rahul, is that why, when Operation Sindoor is on pause, it is not over.
Yeah.
The memory of Pahalgam is fresh. We have all watched the Pakistani cricketers come out and talk about taking women, our film stars, the dirt talk, the street talk, which
Completely.
has happened.
I mean, this was inexcusable. These
can you
explanations
go
that have been
and
given
play?
today by various ministers are shambolic. Have some shame. I need to move on, viewers, because there's another very big story. This time